Let's put them at the dish. Jose, I'm going to start with you here. Which player was your biggest on-field rival?
On-field rival, I'm going to say Jimmy Rollins, because every time I go to Philadelphia, bro, I want to do way better than him. So, I say Jimmy Rollins.
Did you legit hate him?
No, I don't hate.
Oh, okay.
But I hate the other guy.
Okay.
Ollie,
there we go. All right.
Yeah.
I like it.
So, yeah, he knows that.
That's a good one. You had a good one. You guys were similar positions, too. I don't know that I had a real on-field rival. There were some pitchers that I didn't like because they got me out, and a guy named Maddox comes to mind once in a while just because I loved hitting against him so much, and it was so frustrating to get out against him, and he would yell at me at first base if I ever got on against him. So I think because we played, I think I faced him more than any other pitcher in my career, and so for him, that was one of those guys that I just hated getting out against.
How about Brad Penny? He comes to mind.
Oh yeah, well Brad Penny had that moment. We're good now. Me and Brad, we're knuckles, Brad, right, baby? All right, yeah.
Todd, I think about this every time spring training starts. When you reach veteran status and you know what you're doing and you know how to prepare yourself, I mean, are you really trying in camp? How do you sort of work that out?
I think personally camp is different than it was when I was coming up, especially. I think guys come to camp in game shape right now. I think we were still working the kinks out. I would get sore. I didn't do a lot of baseball stuff in the offseason. So camp was for me a time to get the soreness out, to get the arms stretched out, to get some at-bats and get some timing. And I needed that time. I don't think a lot of the guys nowadays necessarily need it or like that extra time in spring training.
Yeah, for me, when I come to spring training, when I was young, bro, I was ready to go to the season, I came out ready, but the good thing for me was to have very good communication with the manager, how many innings that I'm gonna play, how many innings that I need, what route tree that I'm gonna take, if I'm gonna go to Jupiter, if I'm gonna go to Tampa, just leave me on Jupiter, so, half an hour drive, so, but good communication with your manager, that was the key for me.
All right, I'm coming up and in here to you, Jose. Should the Mets have brought back Pete Alonso?
Man, that's a heartbroken for me, bro. I mean, but let me tell you something. When I see last game of the season last year and they interview Pete and they say, you're going to get out of your contract, and he said, yeah, right away, I say, oh, no, he's not coming back. So, that's broke my heart because I want Pete to be here. He's not here no more. So, we have to be happy with what we have.
Todd, what is one moment in your career that sort of replays over and over in your mind that you still think about and still comes up?
I'm going to say two, only because one of them is like Liza Minnelli singing the, New York, New York on the 9/21 game, which is the most monumental period of time that I've ever been a part of in my life, baseball, non-baseball, post 9/11. So that moment to me resonates all. I can't remember what I did in the game, but I remember all of the things that surrounded that game. I think if it's one moment from a baseball standpoint, it's the bases clearing double against the Cardinals. There was so much in that for me in the playoffs. I had this, sort of vendetta against the Cardinals a little bit. That kind of stamped our ticket to the World Series, and I can remember standing on second base and Who Let the Dogs Out firing and the whole stadium shaking. I was literally moving up and down at that. So that one is pretty clear in my mind.
All right, Jose, you were beloved by Met fans, still are, obviously. Your Hall of Fame teammate, Carlos Beltran, it seems that he was the most underappreciated Met of all time, at least in my opinion, and maybe there was a little bit of a disconnect. Did you ever try to get him to come out of his shell a little bit, to be embraced by Met fans like you or David were?
It's different. People need to understand. I mean, me and David, we come off through the system. That's different feeling, different love. And Beltran, by that time, he signed like this huge contract to come here and play in New York. And you know how New York is. If you sign for $100 million and you go 2 weeks struggling, they're gonna boo you. It happened to Soto last year. But Beltran here and though put a very good number.
And you never tried to loosen him up a little bit?
He's got his way, bro. And me and David, we're different. So.
Todd, what's the most electric stadium you ever played in?
Pander to the Mets a little bit here because Shea Stadium, when it was full and you were a part of the team, and in that 2000 run and post 9/11 run, I've never been on a team or in a stadium where there's more electric moments. So that to me, I think feels like the most electric. A close second to me was Baltimore at Camden Yards in '96 when I was there, and that team that we had and playing against the Yankees in those big playoff games, that place rocked, and they had a lot of guys that they were cheering for, so it was pretty electric as well.
One of the most electric atmospheres that I've been at Shea Stadium, Game 6, NLCS 2006, leading off with a home run. My God. Dude, that place was lit. The towels waving.
Yeah.
That was on fire. All right, one more thing here. Only 298 players in Major League Baseball history have 2,000 career hits. 2 of them are right here with us today. Let's look at some blind resumes here. Player A, 16 seasons, 7,552 ABs, 2,138 hits, 387 doubles, an OPS of 103, an OPS plus of 103. Player B, very similar, 16 seasons, 7,573 ABs, 2,004 hits, 397 doubles, 104 OPS plus. You guys have a guess of which one's which there?
Well, I happen to know because he got more hits than me. That's because he can run. If I can run, I might have had those extra 100 hits. But I couldn't run.
Did you know, Jose? You knew it too?
No.
Yo, you didn't know that. How about that?
You know how many hits you got? 2,100, buddy. Yeah.
I know over 2,000 though, but I know
Yeah.
that. So.
That's rare, man. I mean, that's when I didn't even know that. The number's only 298 in the history of the sport.
Wow.
2 of them right here.